Okay, here's your information for Chapter 7, the key points that you need to keep in mind. First of all, on page 170, make sure you understand the definitions for supply and demand and market. Supply and demand have the definitions have the words willing and able in them. You must have both. You must be willing to buy or to provide a product, and you must be able to in order to have demand or supply. Also, the market definition and voluntary exchange. The key concepts in our economy are free exchange. You have to have that in our system in order to make it work the way it does, or the way it's supposed to. On page 172, make note of the arrows on the diagram and the law of demand. There is an inverse relationship between demand or between price and quantity demanded. If the price goes up, the quantity demanded goes down, and vice versa. On page 173, real income and substitution effect. Real income effect and substitution effect. Remember the diagram that I'm going to show you in class for real income. And also remember that if there is a substitution or a substitute for a product, that will have an impact on demand. On page 174, you have diminishing marginal utility. The example I gave you in class with the popcorn at the concession stand is a good example to remember. Diminishing marginal utility means that the usefulness of a product is diminishing with the next one that you might buy as a consumer. This is an important point for business operators to be aware of, because it impacts what they do in terms of putting a product on sale or changing the price or promoting it better, whatever the case might be. Page 178, you need to know how to draw a demand curve. You need to know the price and quantity, which axis those go on, and that the demand curve slopes downward from left to right. Remember, D, down, D, demand. Okay. Page 180 and 181, the determinants of demand. You need to make sure that you understand that any one of these things, if they are present, they can change demand. If you have a change in population, it's going to change the demand for your product as a business operator. If you have a change in income level, it's going to change the demand for your product. And these cause a new demand curve to be needed. There is a change in quantity demanded that I will show you in class. That is a small change on the same demand curve. If you have an overall change in demand caused by one of these 5 determinants that's listed on page 180 and 181, then you have a whole new demand curve, either to the right or to the left, depending on whether the overall demand increases or decreases. And then on page 183 and 184, it talks about elastic and inelastic demand. The elastic or inelastic refers to whether the demand will move or stretch in response to a change in price. Usually, products that are necessity items, like medicine, certain types of food, gasoline for cars, those are generally inelastic demand products. If you have products that are not necessity items, potato chips, soft drinks, those types of things, those are generally elastic demand items. And you want to know this both as a consumer and as a producer or provider of products, because it can help you determine when to buy things. It can also help you determine as a business operator when to stock certain things in your store. There's the first half of Chapter 7. Second half will be on a different video.